What I'm about to show you may keep your kids safe on the 4th of July. Can you pick out which one is safe for your kids?
I hope this works. Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've been wanting to make this video for a little while now. Something I've noticed, I'm very into fireworks, a little bit of a pyro, if I do say so myself, and I didn't realize until a few years ago that these even existed, but there is a new thing on the market called adult snappers, or fuseless firecrackers, right? And we all grew up as kids getting to play with the cheesy little paper, the wad of paper. I don't know, does this gesture help you at all? The little paper bags full of gravel that when you throw down at the ground, like barely make a snap noise, right? Those are all cool and fun, and your parents will let you play with them all day and have a blast, right? So those are still a thing, but now there's basically the equivalent of that in the adult form, right? And so I want to show you guys something that I didn't realize, like I said, the first time, I mentioned this in my other video, but the first time that I saw these at a stand, you know, and they had like $4 a box or $5 or something like that, I was like, for snaps? What are you talking about? And then he let me try one outside of the tent, and I immediately bought an entire display case of them because they were that great. The fuseless firecrackers name is not just a gimmick. That is pretty much what they are. So I want to show you the differences and what to look for, and make sure you ask or try them. Best thing you can do is try them at home yourself before you hand them to a kid. Because if you remember, I don't know if you guys are like me, but whenever I was a kid and I had those little paper sack snappers, I would sometimes squeeze them in your fingers or do stuff like that. I've seen people, I don't do this, and I wouldn't, and I definitely don't advise it, but people put them in their mouth and crack them in between their teeth, which is just dumb, but people do it, right? Because they're snappers, and everybody knows snappers don't hurt you. But that's not exactly the case anymore, and again, you just need to be careful and make sure that you're giving the right stuff to your children. So these are called, okay, well, that one's a dud. This one's good right here. These are called, come on camera, Giant LOL Snaps, LOL, Giant LOL Snaps by No Name Fireworks. These right here, I don't know if I would do them in my finger, but they're relatively normal poppers, like what we're used to back in the day, right? And that's what they look like. So Thunder Snaps, these are the first ones I ever came across. They are also by, I think they're No Name. I'm pretty sure they're No Name. But these are the first ones that I came across. And like I said, I got the little demo, and then I bought a whole lot. And as you can see, luckily there's a big not for children. And that's not a lie. But this is what they look like. Very similar, except for there's some writing, right? Put that one right there. And then these are Thunder Snaps, which I was able to order through my wholesaler this year by No Name Fireworks. Now see, those don't have No Name, but I assume they are just because of the same name. The problem is now they don't have that big not for children on them. So that's kind of not cool. It says performance loud bang, but that's all it says. And they're packaged like pills, which I thought was crazy, but you kind of just very carefully push them through, and it makes me nervous because I know how powerful these things are, trying to push them through the foil. In fact, I just peeled the foil back and said never mind on the pushing it through thing, and you can see it looks basically like the others, except for now they don't have writing. So there the three are, and as you can see, loose out of the package, they all basically look exactly the same. And to someone that doesn't know fireworks very well, maybe it's your first time buying, maybe you've got a young kid and you're buying them fireworks for the first time, you just got to know what you're buying. So this is what you're looking at here, right? These two are dangerous. They could hurt your children, in my opinion. I mean, they're not super powerful, but they're definitely not what your snappers they're not what your snappers were when you were growing up. These right here, I give these to my kids every year and let them play. They're totally fine. It's basically just a cooler looking traditional snapper, right? So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a demo of those three. So let's see here, how am I gonna do this? Okay, so the first one we're gonna do here is the Giant LOL Snap again. I give these to my kids every year. In my opinion, they're totally fine to let kids play with. That's what they look like. And let's see if you throw it down. So it's still got a pretty loud pop, maybe a little bit better than a traditional snapper. These are the OG, is what I'll call them, the Thunder Snaps that I found a few years ago. This is part of my stash. Like I said, I bought a couple displays once I realized they were so good. These are fuseless crackers. You do not want to give these to your children. You can definitely tell they've got a lot more bang. It's more of a fuseless firecracker. And these are the new Thunder Snaps in the odd, come on camera, in the odd pill packaging. All right, now focus back at the ground. Here you go. Yeah, so basically the exact same thing. They're awesome. They're awesome for adults. These and these. And there's a lot. If I wanted to do this properly, there's probably 100 different brands out there that you can get a hold of. So the point of this video is, again, these guys right here are basically no big deal. Just be careful what you're buying in the tent, in the store, in the whatever. Or even when you go over to a friend's house, they might not know what they have, and they're like, yeah, let the kids have some snappers. You know, that right there isn't that bad, but these guys right here, like imagine trying to pop this just like by rolling it in your fingers like we used to do with the little paper bag ones. They're pretty crazy. So again, I have a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old, and I try to keep them safe. These right here and the little paper snaps, stuff like that, as long as they're being responsible, throwing them down at the ground, they're going to be okay. These, the adult ones, like I would recommend wearing sunglasses at least, or some safety glasses, you know, stuff like that, because they definitely throw a little bit of shrapnel, especially if you're throwing them down like in gravel. There might be some tiny gravel and stuff like that that's going to fly up potentially into eyes. Oh my gosh, you guys saw my secret stash. Oh no. So yeah, anyways, that's it guys. I just wanted to make a little bit of an informative video. Again, there's 100 different brands of these new snappers that are in like little red tubes. They're marketed to look a little cooler, and you know, just be careful what you're buying. Like I said, pretty much any kind of snappers you buy that look like this, definitely have an adult try them out before you hand them over to kids, because what you might think is just a safe, innocent time, you know, could end up in some minor injuries, or even just some really scared, upset children. If they don't know what they're throwing down, they might get pretty scared. So here's another cheesy one, just for a finale. There you go. Love you guys. Have fun with your snap pops.